That's where all the cool kids go. The friendly info will show you around. We reward him with the fresh souls of our customers. Shadows, t-shirts, leather tees, and so much more. Tags on deck, horror shop you will never want to leave. Your friendly info will show you around. We reward him with the fresh souls of our customers. Candles, t-shirts, leather tees, and so much more. Dads on deck, horror shop you will never want to leave.
Hanging around with Dick. So many movies, which one to pick? Exploitation overload, crazy comedies, kung fu fun, horror by the pound. Hanging around with Dick. So many movies, which one will you pick? Hanging around with Dick. So many movies, which one will you pick? Will you pick?
Howdy, gang, and welcome to yet another Dick's Picks. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm planning on doing Cannon Fodder tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's barring any severe storms, causing me to have to delay it, or if they cause a power outage and I'm not able to come on. But right now, I plan on doing that, and that will be for Hot Bubble Gum, which is a lemon popsicle movie. If you don't know what a lemon popsicle movie is, check out Last American Virgin, which was Boaz Davidson's remake of some lemon popsicle movies he made that took place in Tel Aviv. And I've seen Last American Virgin, and that's one I'm going to be covering on a later episode of Cannon Fodder, because guess what? Cannon put out, or the Golden Globus era of Cannon put that one out as well. So we're going to be covering that, and we're also going to be covering, or I'm going to be covering, Death House, aka Silent Night, Bloody Night, which a lot of people consider a very bad movie, but I think it has some charm. I think it's creepy, and I'm going to talk about it yet again. You may have heard me talk about it in the past around Christmas time, because it is a Christmas-related horror film. So going to get a few more housekeeping things out of the way, and then we're going to get to the movies, The Yin and the Yang of Mr. Go and Daughter of Emanuelle. So what do we got coming up the rest of the week other than Cannon Fodder? Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time will be another They're All Messed Up. I'm going to be covering a couple more slasher movies. One of them, I believe, is part slasher and part porno. So I'm kind of scared by that, but I'm going to check it out anyway, because it is listed as a slasher film from 1970 to 1989, which is the years that I'm covering for They're All Messed Up. So be sure to tune in Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for that. Friday, I'm hoping to have another Friday Foolish with Candace. I know you guys and gals all like those. And so I've got to talk over with Candace. I hadn't heard from her today. She may have been really busy today, or she hasn't been feeling well. So she may already be in bed by now, or she could be busy with family things and stuff like that. And of course, she had to work today as I did. So um, I will get in touch with her before Friday gets here so we can figure out if one, we're going to be able to do Friday Foolish, and two, if she likes my idea for a theme for Friday Foolish. Okay, so we got a couple of watch alongs coming up this weekend that was chosen by you guys and gals who got in on the voting. You usually have about a couple of weeks to vote on the movies that will take place every other weekend when I do watch alongs. This weekend's going to be a watch along weekend, folks. And we're going to be watching Graduation Day is Saturday's pick, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. April Fool's Day will be Sunday's pick. I know it's after April Fool's Day. Today is April Fool's Day. Technically, I probably should be doing something on April Fool's Day, but I am not. I opted, I went back and forth. I thought, do I go ahead and do the Dick's picks, or do I do an April Fool's Day type thing? And I decided to go ahead with the Dick's picks because last night I watched the Yin and the Yang of Mr. Go, and Steve was able to get me a copy of The Daughter of Emanuelle, which I watched today or this afternoon before I started the stream. So it's all, fresh in my mind. No movie munchies this weekend, but got something special coming up in April, sometime this month. It won't be this weekend, but it'll be coming up. So, actually, Candace gave me the idea, and I was like, "Ooh, that sounds really good," and I think I could turn this into a movie munchies and have it be horror related. So, uh, look forward to that upcoming. I still got to get that soup and jowls up, and then I'm going to try to do another soup and jallow. So you might get a double dose of soup and jallows here because Dana's just delayed all over the place at getting things ready. Also wanted to remind you, I premiered Movie Roulette last night. And apologies if I upset anybody that was in here or that was watching. That wondered why, it seemed like I was demanding money. I'm not really demanding money. I thought maybe I should explain once again. Because, you know, I don't have so many subscribers that I don't notice when people unsubscribe. Okay. So if I gain a few and then I lose a few, I'm like, what did I do? And I know people have told me, don't get on your streams and talk about losing subscribers and stuff like that. Or, don't apologize for things. But I felt like that maybe I led some people to believe that Movie Roulette was one way and it turned out to be another way. I thought I explained myself beforehand. However, and it might have not had anything to do with me losing another subscriber last night. However, me being the warrior that I am, can't even talk, the warrior that I am, I just thought that maybe I should say something. I'm not really going to apologize. I hope that nobody got upset and unsubscribed because of what I said. But I'm going to be strong about this, and I'm not going to apologize because this is not something that I did not or have not explained. But please, all I ask is that you guys and gals give me a chance. All of you give me a chance. And like I said, it might have not had anything to do with me losing, but I've lost the 3 subscribers that I gained, and I'm not sure. It probably wasn't those people that just subscribed. More than likely, it was people that just decided for whatever reason that they were going to unsubscribe. But let me tell you, folks, subscribing to this channel doesn't really mean it doesn't mean that you've got to be dedicated to me only. I'm not asking for that. And you don't have to watch every video I put out. You don't have to watch every stream. But when people subscribe and then they unsubscribe for whatever reason, um, I wonder, did I do or say something? I would rather people I don't like to get into, not say get into it, but I don't like to have, discussions that should be private in public in the chat. But hey, guys and gals, if something's bothering you and you got a legitimate, gripe, please, just bring it up. Don't unsubscribe. I'm willing to, work with you. And, I just wanted to bring that up because during the live stream last night for Movie Roulette, it was the premiere of Movie Roulette. I'm just going to get this out here. I was going through the process of talking about what Movie Roulette was, which Steve told me today that, you calling it Movie Roulette is making people think that they're going to be spinning a wheel or something. I said, well, I didn't see it that way whenever I started calling it Movie Roulette. The way I saw it was, it's like spinning a wheel. I don't know what I'm going to get asked to review, right? And, I'm not really talking about Russian roulette because I don't want to talk about, guns and all of that stuff to do with Russian roulette. But it's like, like people told me when I started the Movie Roulette, hey, Dana, you're playing with fire here, because people, telling people that they could pick any movie they want for you to review, it kind of is playing with fire. It is kind of playing movie Russian roulette. So it's kind of two different things, okay? And I'm sorry if anybody was confused about what it was, what it entailed. But what it does entail is this is a way that, again, supporters of the channel can get something in return, but they're also supporting the channel. That's why I said you give $5 or more in super chats, then you can pick any movie. Someone brought up a movie last night in the chat, and I said, that's great. I would be willing to review it. And I said, but I need the $5, at least $5 super chat to do that. That's part of the deal here. You're supporting the channel and you get something back. You get to see me review whatever movie that you want me to watch and review. And, again, it might have not been this particular person that unsubscribed, but they were quiet through the rest of the stream. And, my intention was not to make anybody mad. My intention was not to get people to unsubscribe if that's what happened. But I don't see that my channel, maybe my channel's not as popular as some of these other channels that ask for money periodically. Okay. And maybe y'all don't think it's worth it, or some of y'all don't think it's worth it. And that's fine. That's fine. You don't have to participate in it. And I may do things that don't cost money, but I just would ask that people don't begrudge me for trying to get a $5 here, $5 there, or whatever, just like every other person is doing out there on YouTube. it doesn't mean I'm trying to fleece y'all for money or anything. I mean, $5 might seem like a lot nowadays with the prices of everything, but really, I think I'm asking for so little. And that's the only thing I'm asking for money for right now. I give all this other content to you guys and gals for free. The movie roulette you can watch for free. Okay, so I just wanted to get that out there because it's something that had been bothering me since last night. And I thought maybe a little explanation was in order about the rules of movie roulette. I'll say them once again. You give a $5 super chat or more during any live stream, including watch alongs, including this one tonight, and you can pick any movie of your choosing for me to review. Okay. I toyed with the idea of maybe letting people have a freebie, but then I thought, well, is that really fair? Some people are willing to give money, some people aren't. Should I punish those people that are willing to give money? So I'm going to leave it as is. And if people want to give the $5 or more super chat, if they want to see more movie roulettes, great. If they don't, I guess eventually the movie roulette will fall by the wayside. And I'll have to, come up with something else. But I did think that this honestly would be something fun that everybody would, well, most everybody would want to participate in. And I know everybody's not made of money. I understand that. But when I see other people and other channels being able to get a little bit here, a little bit there, I wonder why not me? Why can't I too? So I'll get off my soapbox now, but I thought a little explanation was in order. Um, and I know everybody's going to come to me behind the scenes and they're going to say, Dana, why'd you do that? Because I'm an open person, gang. And when something bothers me, I don't care if I go public or I tell people in private, I tell people in public. If something's bothering me, I would rather get it out there. And I figure if people don't want to hear me talk about it, then they don't have to listen. If you're watching this on the replay, you can just say, that's Dana blabbing. I just skim on past it. And I'm not about airing dirty laundry in public either. I'm just talking in general terms. I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just saying this is what happened last night during movie roulette. And, I hope nobody got upset by it, but just so nobody gets upset in the future, laying it all out there, okay? So, with that being said, I do want to encourage you guys and gals because it costs nothing, absolutely nothing to subscribe to my channel. You get all this content for free that you can watch. And hopefully I'm putting out quality content. So it costs you absolutely zero to subscribe, to like these videos and streams, and to click on that notification bell so you don't miss anything that I've got upcoming. Okay. And if, after a while you decide, gee, this isn't my cup of tea, well, then you could always unsubscribe. But why bother unsubscribing? You could turn off notifications if you wanted to, and you wouldn't see my stuff unless you absolutely wanted to, right? But if you're at all interested, please subscribe, like, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything that I have coming out. And be sure to check out that movie Munchies because, this is been the lowest rated movie Munchies that I've done in a while. And I'm not sure why. I really thought people would like the Scooby-Doo theme, but if you feel so inclined, please check out the movie Munchies that I just did this past Sunday for Scooby and Shaggy's Colossal Sandwich and Velma's Jinkies Lemonade, also known as Lost My Glasses Lemonade. I see people popping in and out of here, and they're probably saying, geez, Louise, when's she going to get to talking about the movies? Why is she talking about all this other stuff? Well, I like to get that out of the way first, and then we talk about the movies. So, also, Oh, I wanted to say, if I do get to 1,000 subscribers, me and Candace are going to do some cosplay, people. I am going to be Cheryl from the original Evil Dead. Candace is going to cosplay Mrs. Roper. And if we're lucky, we'll try to get Chris and Steve to cosplay Chrissy and Shannon. So if you want to see all of that, definitely if you want to see me and Candace do our cosplay, um, help get me to 1,000 subscribers. That's going to cost you absolutely nothing, like I said, to subscribe. And I'm just shy of 900. I was over 900, and apparently I lost some people for I don't know what reason, but I did. I think sometimes people, and I'm not saying everybody does this, there are some people that do make a game of subscribing to somebody and then unsubscribing and then resubscribing and unsubscribing. And they do that over and over again to mess up the algorithms for people's channel. Now, why you would do that, I don't know. But if you're just going to do that, I would rather you not subscribe at all. But if you're going to subscribe and stay around for a while and you're not trying to mess up my algorithms, um, people don't be jealous of me. I'm not anybody. I'm not a threat to anybody. So don't be jealous of me. Just go out and make your own channel and do your own programming. Don't try to mess with my analytics and algorithms, but just because you don't like me or whatever. You know, you know what the best revenge if you don't like me would be? To start your own channel and build it up from scratch. That would be the best revenge. I mean, I don't think I want any revenge, but I'm just saying, rather than subscribing and unsubscribing every other month or whatever, just to mess up somebody's uh, statistics on their channel, you could go be doing something great with your own channel. That's all I'm saying. And again, I'll get off my soapbox on that. So, the only other thing I wanted to mention before we got to the movies is um, I have a couple of promotions going on Deadites on Deck, my horror shop at deaditesondeck.com. One is you can buy one candle, get one free by using the promo code CandleCraze25 at checkout. The other promotion I got going on is you can save $10 off your complete order of $30 or more using the promo code SlasherSpring25 at checkout. So be sure to head on over to deaditesondeck.com and check out all the cool stuff I have got for sale. And remember, I do custom work as well. All you got to do is fill out the form on the homepage of the shop and tell me what it is that you're wanting. I can put your kids, your grandkids, your pets, you and your significant other, whatever you want on, shirts and tote bags and hats and even candles if you like, right? There's also blended teas on the site as well. And I'm planning on putting a whole bunch of new products out. I know I've been saying that, but it's going to happen, folks. It's going to happen. I've got new designs and everything to put out there. So be sure to check out deaditesondeck.com and tell them Poe sent you. Poe is the official mascot of the Deadites on Deck shop. And you can pick up one of these shirts with the Lethal Ladies Inc. or Lethal Ladies Incorporated. There's going to be a new design coming soon, as well as Poe designs and Evil Dead Chick and Poe designs as well. So, all right. Now that I've got all that out of the way and talked for about 25 minutes, let's get to these movies, shall we? So, the first movie is The Yin and the Yang of Mr. Go. And this was the debut of Jeff Bridges. This was the first movie Jeff Bridges was ever in, folks. Very young Jeff Bridges. He went under the name Jeffrey Bridges at this time. James Mason was on this. Jack McGowan, that you may remember from The Exorcist as the movie director, that was Ellen Burstyn's friend. He liked the alcohol a little bit too much. He plays Leo Zimmerman. James Mason plays YY Go. Jeff Bridges plays Nero Finnegan. James Mason's wife, Clarissa K. Mason, who was also in Salem's Lot with him, she played Marjorie Glick. She was not the person I thought she was. I thought it was Eva Miller. But no, she played Marjorie Glick, and she was married to James Mason. Burgess Meredith actually acted in this as the dolphin. He was an acupuncturist, and he directed it. And I think he has partial screenwriting credit for this too. So, what is the yin and the yang of Mr. Go about? Well, it's about Buddha a lot, because Buddha has a really big part in this. And there may be those of you that don't know a whole lot about Buddha. I don't know as much about Buddha as maybe, say, Steve does. I think Steve knows more about Buddha than I do. But Buddha is apparently a spiritual entity. I don't know if I would refer to him as a god, but he kind of oversees things. Okay. So this movie takes place in Hong Kong, and we're introduced to YY Go, played by James Mason, and his acupuncturist Dolphin, played by Burgess Meredith. And we find out that apparently YY Go is an evil man, and he's planning to cause major problems worldwide. He's a villain. Like, he always, throughout the movie, he kind of reminded me of a Scooby-Doo type of villain, to speak of Scooby-Doo, because he didn't really seem as evil as you would imagine in a live action movie being. I mean, he wasn't standing in the corner twirling his mustache, going hee 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 or anything like that. And he was not like a terrorist you would see from something like Die Hard or something like that, But Buddha evidently is very unhappy with YY Go. And Buddha's going to make some changes. Okay. So, like I said, Buddha has a large part in this movie. So, Jeff Bridges' character of Nero Finnegan, he's a writer. He's really inspired by James Joyce. He's really into James Joyce, and he's kind of hippie-ish and stuff. And his girlfriend, Tai Ling, played by Irene Sue, I mean, he claims he's in love with her, and I think he is within the movie. She gets mad at him one night because he's hanging out with Jack McGowan's character, Leo Zimmerman. So, he starts out hanging out with YY Go, and YY Go sends him on a mission to take out one of these CIA people. So then the government basically sends Leo Zimmerman in to kind of intercept Nero and, get him to work for them and go up against YY Go. So Nero gets involved in all this stuff. His girlfriend, Tylene, gets kidnapped by YY Go when he's the villain. And then Buddha at some point says, I've had enough. I've had enough of you, YY Go. And I'm going to make you act the exact opposite of what you're acting now. So Buddha does his mumbo jumbo on YY Go, And all of a sudden, Wawa Go doesn't want to be bad anymore. He doesn't want to be a villain. He wants to be a good guy. He wants to help Nero. He wants to help Tyling. He wants to help everybody. So Buddha used his power to change Wawa Go from a villain into a good guy. And so everything ends up good in the end. And, I'll just say it. I enjoyed this film. I thought it was a fun little film. I love Jeff Bridges. I love James Mason. I love Jack McGowan. Everybody seemed to work really, really well together. I loved Burgess Meredith. I thought he did a really good job with this film. And this was to me a little bit more quality film for Dick Randall to produce than a lot of these other ones that I've been watching. So, um, I think most people will enjoy the yin and the yang of Mr. Go. I mean, when you hear the title, it sounds like it might be a kid's movie, but it's not a kid's movie. I wouldn't expect a kid to watch it. There are certain scenes, naked ladies for one, that probably kids shouldn't be seeing. So there's not really anything extremely explicit in it. But it's still a movie for adults, in my opinion. So I enjoyed the yin and yang of Mr. Go. And, I could see myself watching it again. And that's why I'm not going to give it, a top rating because, as with a lot of these films, it does have its flaws. But I am going to give it 4 Deadites out of 5 because, honestly, I thought it was a decent film. And there are several different copies of varying quality. I wish I had kind of scrolled on through and saw the ones of a little better quality. So I would advise you to do so. If you check out YouTube and type in the yin and the yang of Mr. Go, you should see several options for it. There's even an interview. I didn't watch the interview where Jeff Bridges talks about being in the yin and the yang of Mr. Go. So this is one I can recommend. If you want to check it out on YouTube, you can check it out right now for free. And hey, it's not a very long film either, so I'd suggest you check it out if you have the time. Okay, so moving on to The Daughter of Emanuelle, which, gang, sadly, I've seen some actual Emanuelle movies that have Laura Gimser in them, and I'm not a fan. I never have been a fan. Steve got a box set of Emanuelle movies, most of which have Laura Gimser in them. And, if you're a guy, if you're of the male persuasion, I could see guys enjoying watching Laura Gimser because Laura Gimser is easy on the eyes. I ain't gonna lie about it. But as a straight woman, I am not really interested in seeing Laura Gimser take her clothes off and have sex with anything that moves. That's just not my thing. Okay, so I was thinking that this was going to be similar to those movies, and it comes off as, it might be. And yeah, it's sleazy, and yeah, it's exploitive. I'm not going to lie about that at all. Hold on just a second here. Trying to get it back to where I was. Well, Lord. I don't know why it did that, but anyways, sorry about that, folks. I have just seen this movie, but I just wanted to bring up this stuff for reference. So, The Daughter of Emanuelle came out in 1975, and it had 3 different writers, including Dick Randall as one of the writers. And it stars Sarah Crespi and Greta Vian. Greta Vian plays Emanuelle in the movie. And Emanuelle is French, evidently. Thankfully, this was in English, so I could understand it and everything. So I wasn't having to read subtitles or anything like that. And Lawrence P. Casey is also in this, playing George Anderson and also playing the character Roger Lang. And I'm going to explain why he's playing two characters there. Um, so it's listed as a drama. I don't know about that. This is just a crazy madcap exploitation movie to me, with a little bit of sleaze there, um, mixed in. So Emmanuel's daughter, and I'm not trying to be derogatory. I'm not trying to be nasty here. Her daughter's called Pussy, and one of the photographers, because Pussy is a model, and I'm hoping that YouTube doesn't ding me for saying this, but that's her name in the movie. One of the photographers who's taking her picture calls her Pussy Willow. But everybody from her mother on down calls her Pussy. So apparently that's what her mom named her. So we start out the movie in France. And um, we see, at first I was like, what in the heck is going on here? Because they were showing a movie, like a silent movie up on the screen. I was like, did Steve download the wrong for me? And then I noticed there was a guy sitting there, and this is the George character. And he's a military guy, and he's sitting there enjoying the movie. And then he sees this beautiful woman come in, and that is Emanuelle. And he's just completely taken with her, this young woman. And he goes up to her and he tries to eat her peanuts or whatever she's eating at the movies. And at first she's, she takes her snacks and moves them over, and she ignores him and everything. And then he charms her, okay, as guys can do. And she winds up going on dates with him, and they go all around France or Paris or wherever I forget exactly where in France they're at, but I want to say Paris. But so they fall in love with each other, and they're very shy, and they're extremely shy, and you can tell they're not experienced sexually, but they end up making love. And then George tells her, I'm in love with you, I want to marry you. And so he has to go back to the military base, but he promises her he's going to come back the next day and they're going to get married. She's got her wedding dress and all that stuff. Okay. So unfortunately, he doesn't have money for a bus ticket. So she gets him a bus ticket, and he's like, oh, my bus. He kisses her. He says, I'll see you tomorrow. And he goes back to the military base. He gets up the next morning. Oh, I'm going to get married. He's so happy. And the MPs come up to him. I'm sorry, sir, you can't leave. You got to go with us right now. I'm guessing there was war that had broken out. And he said, but I'm getting married today. I'm sorry, sir. These are the orders. You have to come with us. So he writes a letter to Emanuelle, and he hands it to one of the other military guys. No, why the guy does this, I don't know. But he says, make sure you get this sent out. And he tells him who to send it to. And after they drive away in their Jeep, he just wads it up and throws it on the ground. And I'm like, why would you do that? But, the movie wouldn't happen the way it did if it had turned out otherwise. So he ends up going to war. I guess he became a prisoner of war. And during all of this, he loses his memory of everything that went on, I believe he says before 1955. So he cannot remember being with Emanuelle, but he still had that bus ticket or train ticket, I should say. And he has that framed on a wall in his house. But he is known as Roger Lang now, who is this rich guy. He likes sailing and all that stuff. And he is interested in um, fashion shows and stuff like that. So he gets involved with Pussy's boss as as far as a business deal, because we find out that her boss is lesbian, and for some apparent reason Pussy just wants to have sex with everybody, and men, women, whatever, it doesn't matter. And she goes back and forth. The way I would describe it, she goes back and forth between some silly little schoolgirl and a outright whore, because she sets her eyes on Roger Lang, aka George, um, right off. And she wants him, and she will stop at nothing to get him. And so they're having a party at his house to celebrate the merger with her boss and his company. And she just decides she's going to go topless, and she's dancing around, and he walks up to her and he slaps her across the face. But she just will not leave him alone. She pursues him, pursues him, pursues him, even showing up when he's going sailing. And he's like, no matter what I do or say to you, you just keep coming back. So then he falls in love with her, and they start dating, and she gets pregnant, and he says, I want to marry you. I love you. I want to marry you. So she wants her mother to meet this guy. When her mother sees him, she realizes, oh my gosh, this is George. And she thinks that he just jilted her, that he just left her at the altar all those years ago. And she meets him in private, and she's like, look, stop this silly charade. I know you're George Anderson. Just stop with this Roger Lang stuff. Um, and she goes on to tell him, this is what you did this 20 years ago or whatever. And he said, well, where's your proof? She said, well, here's your proof. You want proof? She's got pictures of her and George Anderson together. And she goes on to tell him, you got me pregnant, and now you've got your own daughter pregnant. And he just, goes white as a ghost. He gets sick. He vomits after she leaves. He just, oh my gosh, what have I done? He's contemplating suicide and all of that. And it turns out that that Emanuelle was lying to Roger, aka George, that Pussy's not his daughter. She just told him that because she was mad at him. And I went back and forth between liking Emanuelle at the beginning, not liking her because she seems like she's sort of a floozy, walking around with her boob half hanging out. I know it's just her and the guy she ended up marrying and stuff, but she just seems, like a little bit of a floozy. And then she'll go back to being, okay. But then when Roger, aka George, he just has to tell Pussy, we can't see each other anymore, because he can't do that. That would be, the most horrible thing in the world. And so he really gives no explanation to Pussy. He just tells her, she calls him. She's been calling him at his hotel all day, And he says, we can't see each other anymore. I'm sorry, we can't. And he gets ready to leave and go back to Greece. And Pussy is so devastated that she turns on the gas stove and starts dancing and remembering um, everything, all the time she spent with Roger, aka George, and all that. And her friend finds her friend Pierre. I think his name's Pierre. He becomes a lawyer, but he's in love with Pussy too. All these guys are in love with her, or just maybe want to just have sex with her. But um, by this time, Pussy has become a little less like a whore and more just like a schoolgirl that's totally in love with her older teacher or something like that. That's the kind of thing that I got from her. So Pierre ends up saving her life because he busts in her apartment, and they take her to the hospital. And here's one of the things that made me go, ew, what is wrong with you people? Um, because Emanuelle and um, Pussy's boss are talking after the doctor says we were able to save her, but she aborted the baby. There's nothing that can be done. And like Emanuelle and Pussy's boss just go skipping out of the hospital. Whoa, now she don't have to have an abortion. It's like, what? And then it gets even worse. Because I'm like, what is wrong with you people? And they were acting like somebody didn't just tell them that a baby died, that because of what Pussy did, turning on the gas and stuff, it caused her to lose her child. So if that wasn't bad enough, Emanuelle tells Pussy's boss, said George wasn't Pussy's father. And her boss says, well, who was? Well, I don't know. I slept with so many men after George left me at the altar. I don't know. It could have been any one of them. And she said, I was angry for him, making up this silly, foolish story about having amnesia all these years and not knowing what happened and all that. And Pussy's boss says, no, it's true. It's real. He has this bus ticket in a frame on the wall in his house or his apartment. And she said, he does what? And then she was like, oh my gosh, I've got to stop him before he goes back to Greece. And she tries to get to him at the airport, tears streaming down her face, but he doesn't see her, doesn't hear her, and gets on the plane and he goes to Greece. And it shows a few scenes of him and Pussy together, and then that's the end of the movie. So I was like, they could have made this movie so much better and less sleazy and less ridiculous. But I guess that wasn't the Dick Randall way, or evidently it wasn't the way of anybody else associated with this movie. So, although it wasn't as bad as I thought it was just going to be all out, almost X-rated sex fest. It didn't turn out to be that, but it's definitely not something I see myself going back to because I was just like flabbergasted at a lot of stuff in it. So yeah, I cannot really. I'm sorry, gang. I can't give this one more than 2 deadites out of 5. I mean, if y'all can find it to watch, if you can find it to download, I couldn't find it on YouTube or anywhere else. It was listed on some foreign sites, but I was afraid to go there because I was afraid I might get a virus on my computer, and I don't want to do that. So Steve was able to download it for me, and I was able to watch it. But honestly, I don't ever see myself watching this again. I watched it for Dick's Picks, and that's all she wrote on that. So, I guess that is all from me. I've been on here about 50 minutes all told. Um, and I've had people pop in and out of here throughout. So hopefully those of you that didn't get to watch this live can watch it on the replay. And remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share with your friends and family members that you think might enjoy this content. Those are all free ways that you can support the channel. And I love you guys and gals that want to keep supporting the channel that way. I appreciate it so much. So let's try to get me to 1,000 subscribers, and y'all get to see that lovely cosplay that me and Candace have planned out, and hopefully we can get our husbands in on it too. So again, it costs you absolutely nothing to subscribe, to like, to hit the notification bell, to share my channel with friends and family members that you think might like the content that I'm putting out, and help me along the way of being able to put out more, hopefully, quality content. Or tell me what you want me to do streams on or videos on. I'm open to suggestions, okay? I still want to do the Sunny Chiba thing. But I'm going to have to get with Steve because he's a Sunny Chiba fan, and he'd be able to help me out in more ways than he could actually realize. So, but I guess that is all from me for now. Hopefully, I'll be able to do Cannon Fodder tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, talking about hot bubble gum and Death House, aka Silent Night, Bloody Night. And with that being said, I'm off like a dirty shirt. This shirt ain't dirty, but I'm off like one. I want to remind everybody, as I always do before I get off of here for the night, to be kind to one another and blaze that trail. Have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday, folks. And let's all pray we don't get any severe storms anywhere tomorrow or tomorrow night. Okay. I want everybody to be safe. And I'm out of here for now, but I'll see everybody next time.